Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer, Episode 9. This was a big episode. A lot happened very quickly, more so than I thought it was going to. We picked up where we left off with everyone getting turned into the card Yu-Gi-Oh style, and I think even the villain that did it, I don't know if this is meant to be a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, it reminded me of it. I want to be careful here because the Toku community definitely will annoy me thinking everything ever is a reference. It reminds me of how I get annoyed whenever I watch an Emergency Awesome video and he calls everything an Easter egg. I don't think he understands what an Easter egg is. An Easter egg is something like, hey, there's a Tegazord in the background of an episode of The Office. That is an Easter egg. But someone directly saying something is not an Easter egg. Like, if Kingpin referenced the events of Echo, that's not an Echo Easter egg, it's a reference. Anyway, sorry, mini rant. It reminded me of Yu-Gi-Oh, especially the way he has like a dual disc book thing. But that whole thing, I don't know why. I thought it was going to be like either a one-off villain or just one singular person that was sent by our main villain. I didn't expect us to full-on meet him yet and have a big fight. For whatever reason, I was also picturing it as them coming to him. Maybe it's because I'm in the middle of an Avatar rewatch and you have the whole, they're going to the Fire Nation to fight type of deal, taking the fight to them. I just kind of pictured that they were going to kind of group together for a couple episodes, maybe have an episode about them journeying or something, running into some henchmen or villains of his, but I didn't expect an all-out assault, and then how much things progressed after that. Because basically after he threatens them and everything, he turns everyone into cards except for our two main heroes. He then has them set up a meeting, like a Cell Games thing. Come to the Cell Games, but not really, but you know what I mean. And Kamen Rider summons her bike, and it just reminds me, and she also gets a cool new form here in this, and I love hearing the Deca driver voice. In fact, the voice for both her driver and... Does she have a driver? Is it a belt? Or is it just the suitcase she uses? I can't remember now, because I know he steals the suitcase, but I'm like, does that just hold it? I don't know why I'm having a hard time remembering this. But anyway, regardless, her henshin device and his henshin device, I love the sounds for both of them. They're both my ideal type of henshin device voice for either a changer or a belt, which is cool and not a screaming crackhead. So I love them both. But hearing the voices for them and just kind of how cool I think they are, and then the bike and just her suit too and his suit, I want toys from this so badly. It kind of speaks to how well the core formula of Toku works on me. They can go a bit much sometimes when they go into gimmicks and too many forms that are disposable, but just the core premise of, I like that suit, I like that morpher, I want to buy it, and the fact that at this moment I've been made aware that there's not very much merchandising for it, at least not traditional stuff you would see out of a Sentai. And I feel like I'm in that scene in The 40-Year-Old Virgin where he's like, I don't understand, what's the problem? I can give you the money and I can take these home and wear them. Anyway, cool stuff in this. I liked seeing the new form, liked seeing the bike. It just further expanded my like of these designs. And plus, her concept is really cool for a Kamen Rider or an Amen Rider. Just in terms of the story kind of being Black Panther, Masked Rider-esque, oddly enough. But just the concept of the design of the Egyptian theme. And she has one of the most badass finishers I've ever seen for a Rider character ever, where just a freaking pyramid on her freaking foot. It was so cool. Really cool stuff. I got distracted on a side tangent, but they're on their way to Viridian City. They're on the road. They're on their way to Viridian City to fight his henchmen. They run into a couple of them on the way, and they're defeated in part because Hydra put some sort of explosive seal or something like that on the edge of the card so that they could all escape, and they're like, aren't you worried about exploding yourself? You're like, I'm kind of accustomed to being near explosions nowadays. And when they finally reach him, we get to see how powerful he is, or was. Get it? Because his powers was. Anyway, his demon seed power manifests as this giant being called Was, and it can turn things to sand, and it creates sandstorms that suck up people, and most everybody gets sucked underground into this mummy tomb thing during the fight, and that's when she uses her new form for the fight. And then we get a flashback scene, kind of like we get flashback scenes in Sentai episodes, but this is just a normal flashback. And I really like this because it expanded on the whole masked idea, kind of calling back to when we first met our Amen Rider and the fact that she acted very stern and cool, and then once she could let her guard down, her sort of natural personality came out. And I saw a couple people even complaining about why is she acting like that, and then people were saying that the whole idea is it's a mask, is when she puts the mask on, she becomes this confident hero, but underneath, she's her true self. And that's kind of tied into her backstory, where she literally puts on these masks to sort of feel like she can be a more confident type of Kamen Rider, because secretly she's more anxious and shy, and I like that. I thought that was really cool. In fact, I can't even think of off the top of my head, and maybe there is one I'm forgetting or one I haven't seen from the show era, where the sort of idea of masks is used in Kamen Rider, being a masked rider, having that be kind of a metaphor in an actual Rider series. I don't think I've seen that done before. The closest I could sort of think off the top of my head, and it's not like a direct plot, but is Watcheru, how he's very much a shy, kind of in the corner type of character, and he becomes more stoic and confident when he transforms. But again, that's not really a feature of the series, at least that I remember. But I thought that was just really clever, and then also ties into their backstory of showing, he was the one that showed her it was okay to be who she was, gave a little bit of humanization to him, and he's not just a mustache-twirling villain. But I really like that, and again, I didn't expect this to all go down in one episode. I thought we would probably get some more backstory, because even at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, okay, I'm not really seeing any, like, shades to his character in regards to being friends with her in the past and whatnot. So I thought that would be a separate episode, so it's like, I didn't expect them to attack, I didn't expect to get the flashback, and then this cliffhanger ending where he actually does defeat her while Red's trapped underground and steals the Almond Rider system and transforms. So yeah, big episode. It felt like a lot happened quickly, but it didn't necessarily feel rushed, and I am kind of excited by the fact that I don't know what's coming next, and I should probably look this up after I finish filming, but I'm curious how many episodes is this supposed to be, because I know it's a manga. Is this going to be a multi-season thing, or are they going to cover all of it in one season? Is the manga still going? More of these questions and less will be answered when I Google this after this. Or I could just do the easy thing when you have a question is just ask the YouTube comment section, because that's way quicker than Google. Anyways, guys, another great episode. Still really loving this series. What are your thoughts on this one? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for all my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.